Shalom Yisrael. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem El Shai, double honor to the elders of GMS, and those two brothers that are doing the work in truth with sincerity. Now, Lord willing, this is going to be just a series of things that all the brothers should know. We have to we're out on the streets, and these are certain things that we should know. For like when scoffers come up trying to ask questions, like it'll be embarrassing if we didn't know the answers to these questions. So basically, this is first question is, how many plagues did the Lord send upon Egypt? I'm going to start off with Exodus 7 and 14. In fact, the point is in 17. So this is turning water into blood. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord, in this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are on the river, and they shall be turned into blood." And then the next one was the plague of frogs. The point is 1 to 4, but the verse is Exodus 1 to 11. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants." And then in the next plague, the third plague, was a plague of lice. So that's Exodus 8 and 16 to verse 19. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Stretch out thy rod, and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so. For Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod, and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantment to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, This is the finger of the Most High. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them as the Lord had said." And then the fourth plague was a plague swarm of flies, and that is in Exodus 8:20 verse 32. With the point in 21, it said something 20. "And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarm of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and in thine house, and the house of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereupon they are." The fifth plague was basically all of the livestock got diseased, and that's in Exodus 9 verse 1 to 7. It says, "Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell them, Thus saith the Lord, power of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and wilt hold them still, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle which is in the field, upon thy horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain." If you look up that word murrain, it says an infectious disease, especially babesiosis, affecting cattle or other animals. Let's see what that is. It says a babesiosis, a disease of cattle and other livestock transmitted by the bite of ticks. It affects the red blood cells and causes the passing of red or blackish urine. It's a lot. The next plague, the sixth one, was a plague of boils. That's in verse 9. That's Exodus 9 and 8 to 12. And that says, "And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take to you a handful of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh, and it shall become small dust in all the land, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. And this word blains is an inflamed swelling or sore on the skin. That app is just this one. This is the dictionary, Google Dictionary extension you can get on the Chrome store if you want to use it. The next one, the seventh plague, was fire, storms of fire, and that is in Exodus 9:13-35. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith," in fact, let me just go straight to the point. It says in verse 20, is it, "He that feareth the word of the Lord among the servants of the house of Pharaoh made his servants," where is it? Yep, 22, so that says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, and that there may be a hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man, and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground. And the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation." The next plague was the eighth plague, which was the plague of locusts. This is Exodus 10:1-20. The point, go straight to the point. It says, "And Moses and Aaron came in unto Pharaoh, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, power of the Hebrews, How long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the plague of locusts into thy coasts." And then the ninth plague was the plague of darkness. So that's Exodus 10:21 until the end. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days." That's the point. And then the last plague was the death of the firstborn, and that's covered in Exodus 11 and Exodus 12, with the end of Exodus 12 being the law of the Passover. Or so yeah, get straight to the point. It says, "And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, About midnight will I go into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of his maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beasts." So, it's just been, that was the 10 plagues that were put upon Egypt before finally Pharaoh let the people of Israel go. I mean, really and truly, the Most High, if you read the full account, that kept hardening Pharaoh's heart, because ultimately it's the Most High that is in power, and he basically uses men to do his will. And so if we actually read Romans 9 and look for the point, where is it? It says, Romans 9:17, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." So, next time a Christian asks you how many plagues were in Egypt, you now know the answer, and you know what they were if you didn't know them before. So with that, I'm just going to close up and say Shalom.